Alabama, very athletic team. They've had a good year so far. Is this probably the best team you've faced this year?
Well, we'll find out, come game time or after the game, because we've played some pretty good teams. Northwestern has been very good. Tulane's had a great year. Some of those teams we played in the early season tournament have proven to be very good in VCU and LSU and St. Joe's as well. So, they're good. They're very good. They're a top 25 team. Haven't maybe reached their full stride yet, which I'm sure they will as the new year rolls around.
They have 3 freshmen that are making contributions. Is that something you think about, looking ahead to maybe what you have coming in next year too? What the possibilities, the freshmen can add to the program?
Yeah. Obviously, their freshmen have played a significant role and have energized that team at times. And at the same time, I think if you looked at maybe some of their inconsistencies in either not winning games or maybe having some closer games than maybe people would think they should have, it probably comes down to youth as well, it's one of those things that when you play freshmen that are talented and that can help you, there's going to be some inconsistencies, and I think at times Alabama has seen that, but I think over the last 3 or 4 games, those guys have been playing extremely well.
You have 2 horses up front too. It'll be a good test for Miller and Cam, and I guess for the whole front line.
Yeah, and I think it's a great challenge for those big guys right now, especially heading into conference play, because you're going to face some very, very talented front lines, and we need those guys to really step up and to play better than maybe they have the last couple of games, both offensively and defensively, but primarily on the glass. That's one area that our entire front line has to kind of set the tone for us rebounding-wise. And at the same time, that doesn't eliminate the responsibility of our guards to get in there and scrap. We haven't had that as much lately either the last couple of games.
With Duke as your opener, is this a nice way to kind of ramp things up preparing for ACC?
Well, I'm not even worrying about Duke right now. Our first focus is on ourselves, constantly getting better and trying to, instill the program priorities, and then you move on to the next game. So, obviously we know what's around the corner. The month of January, if you look at the schedule, is an extremely challenging schedule with who we play and then also the road games. So that will come in time. We need to worry about having, again, I said it time and time again, we need to have a great practice today and really good preparation and focus heading into tomorrow evening's game.
Green has had some injury problems for them. Are you planning as if he's going to play?
Yeah, we whenever something like that happens, we plan on him playing, and every one of our, in terms of our preparation, is him playing. Now the one thing is that's happened in his absence. Their freshman has played very well in the post, and they haven't changed anything with him out, so it hasn't really affected our preparation at all.
And Relford's had a good year for them.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, as only a sophomore, you can see him starting to grow into that, lead guard position where he's done a good job of directing their offense and setting the tone for their defense with his ball pressure and so forth. He's going to be a great player in that league, and obviously he had a very good freshman year, and as a sophomore, even more responsibility has been put on him.
You got Pierre coming back. What's his status right now, and how much you welcome having him back?
Well, I still don't think that we've seen all the contributions that Pierre can make. Such a unique injury, sickness, illness, whatever you want to call it, that really affected his play. And because of that, with the lack of practice time that he's had, it's put him in a position where maybe he's not been as consistent, but he's done a good job in terms of really understanding what we're trying to get done at that position, and I'm hoping that with the practice time over the last week and heading into the month of January and the new year that you're going to see him, continue to play better for us.
Do you do as much mentoring while he's getting himself ready to go again, like helping the other guards?
Yeah, he's done a good job of that. As I said, he's been part of, high school-wise, a tremendous program, and obviously before coming here as well. So, and he's seen the ups and downs of long seasons, and so he's been very, very good. He's got, one thing we talk about is, you either bring an energy or take an energy, and he is a guy that brings energy every day for us. So that, at this stage of our development as a program, that's very, very important.
You've got a lot of non-conference games behind you. Do you change your thinking at all as to the way you work your rotation, starting lineups, that type of thing, or you continue? Are you satisfied, or maybe not satisfied is the right word, but do you think with the rotation you're using is working?
Well, again, we're limited in our rotation. There's not a lot of guys, to pull off the bench. But I think the guys who practice the best and prepare themselves the best for the games are the ones that either start or gain more minutes. And so that's kind of fluid right now. So, our rotation, our lineup and so forth, again, at this stage is much more fluid than probably it will be down the road.
And how much practice time are you able to get at Phillips?
None.
Really, does that matter at all?
No, we'll get an hour of shooting in day of the game. So other than that, we're practicing right here in the Zelnick Center. So, there's a lot of different schools of thought on that. So it's been that way. We practiced one time in Gwinnett for a full practice, and we've had one full practice in Phillips. So, it is what it is. We can't use that as an excuse or anything like that. We need to, the other team doesn't get any practice in there either. Now the difference is now you're even as opposed to having an advantage. But that's just, we knew that was going to be the case, so there's no sense even worrying about that.
Basket's still 10 feet.
Yeah, all that stuff. Obviously there is something to be said with being, comfortable and a little more confident playing in your home place, but we don't have that this year, so we can't worry about that.
I think you'll get more fans. You probably should get more fans because Phillips is a lot easier to get to.
Yeah, obviously I think just the location makes it more accessible to our fans. So yeah, we're hoping for good turnouts and so forth, with also the understanding that it doesn't bring the same as playing at the Coliseum or down the road in the McCamish Pavilion. But obviously I'm also not naive enough to know that we're playing bigger name, more prominent, more recognizable teams. When your first two games now in the new year in Phillips are Alabama and then Duke, you would think that we'd get pretty good support at those games.